I had the third sentence. As I ate my lunch at the park, a bird that lived in a tree nearby flew down onto my bench. Because as is a subordinate conjunction, this whole part of the sentence right here is going to be a dependent clause, which means that everything from a bird to my bench will be the independent clause. So begin by A is an article. Bird will be our subject. That lived in a tree nearby is going to be a relative clause, so that's going to be put on its own line. Flew will be our verb. Where did flew? Flow. Flew down. And then onto my bench is a prepositional phrase, so it will be diagrammed as such. Onto bench. And my is a pronoun. Don't forget the article. So we'll move on to the relative clause. That lived in a tree nearby. That lived. And then in a tree, another prepositional phrase. In tree, our article. And then where did it live? Nearby is a modifier, so nearby. Now that all that is done, we're going to move on to the dependent clause. As is our little connector, so it's going to go on the line. I will be the subject. Ate will be our verb. And then my will be a pronoun modifier, so lunch will be our direct object. My goes under lunch because it's claiming the lunch. And then at the park is another prepositional phrase, so it'll be diagrammed as such. At park, article. And there we go. Bird flew is going to be a number 6 type sentence, and then I ate my lunch at the park will be number 7. And that is all. Moving on to the prepositional phrases, we have to ask whether they are going to be adverbial or adjectival. Within the sentence, there are 3 of them. On to my bench, at the park, and in a tree. Because onto my bench modifies flew, it's going to be an adverbial. At the park modifies the direct object of lunch, so it's going to be adjectival. And in a tree modifies lived, meaning it's going to be adverbial. And then we have to ask if there's any verbals within the sentence. No, there's not. We do have a to within the on to. However, it is not a verbal, and furthermore, it's part of the larger on to word, which answers the question of where. Where did the bird fly down to? It flew down onto my bench.